Warning, the following podcast has been classified as insanely lucrative. Listener discretion is advised.
Think of my product like a food processor, and next to the food processor is a chopping board with a tomato and a couple knives. It's a kitchen, for God's sake.
Your attention, please. Listening to the AM/PM podcast may cause recurring revenue streams and unfair advantages over your competitors. Other side effects may include fatter wallets, fired bosses, and longer vacations. Listen at your own risk. Here's your host, seven-figure entrepreneur and online marketing madman, Manny Coates. Manny Coates.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the AM/PM podcast. My name is Manny Coates, and this is the show where we discuss how to generate recurring revenue streams 24 hours per day during the AM and the PM. Hence the name of the show. Get it? AM/PM podcast. And when I say recurring revenue streams 24 hours per day, I'm not kidding. I was just getting all the stuff ready for this weekend's race car event that I'm actually participating in. And while putting everything together, I was making money from my business. How cool is that? Pretty cool, I think. As we do each week, this is the Q&A episode. And as always, I am joined by my co-host, my business partner, and the most enlightened being I have ever met in my life, Guillermo Puyol. How are you doing today?
I'm doing awesome, Manny. Coming in from the rainforest in Costa Rica.
It sounds like you're in a Disney movie. I hear all kinds of birds around you. You got a bird in your house? What is it?
No, man. I'm actually in my home in Texas, but there's a huge tree in the backyard, and there's apparently some birds having fun. So if you hear that, I hire them for ambience.
It's a happy ambience and feeling and whatnot. Speaking of which, if we're going to be talking about happy things, I have a very happy question to ask you before we get into the serious Q&As, although this one is a pretty serious question. Are you ready for your question, Guy?
I'm ready.
This is question one of two. For those of you that don't know, I always ask Guy two questions during our Q&A. You get two questions from the audience, and then the audience gets two questions from me to you. So perfect. So here we go. It's a contest with high rewards, Guy.
Okay.
Here we go. I don't know why I started laughing when I said that. It's a contest with high rewards, Guy. If you had to guess in advance how many donuts you could eat in one 30-minute sitting, and you are paid $1,000 for every donut that you successfully consume, but your wife also must consume the same number of donuts, what would be the number that you would set, knowing that if either of you do not hit this number, you get $0?
Oh my gosh. All right, so for every donut I eat, we get $1,000, but my wife has to eat the same amount.
Yeah, and you have to guess in advance before you start how many you want to eat. So it's $1,000. If you want to make $10,000, you say we can eat 10, and that's it. You can go as high as you want, but if you do not both eat all of those donuts, and you can't eat her donuts, you have to eat your own donuts, you fail and you get nothing.
Man, that's a hard one. I know my wife despises junk food, especially donuts, because it's carbs, it's sugar, it's fried. So it's the epitome of food that she hates to eat. So I would have to go low on that, man.
It's a one-time offer ever. $1,000 per donut. Standard size Krispy Kreme donut.
I sincerely think she would not eat more than 10. Like, I'm gonna say 10. Go on a vacation and enjoy.
All right. So, do you think that she can eat 10 donuts in 30 minutes?
10 in 30 minutes. Yeah. Well,
if she gets a 9 and she can't do it, you lose it all. You just ate a bunch of donuts. You force her to eat donuts for nothing.
She would hate every minute of it, but I think she can down 10 donuts.
All right, so 10's your number, huh?
Yeah, I think, it's low. I would personally maybe 3 times as much.
You go to 30,000? Wow. All right. See, this is a serious question, Guy, that I think a lot of male listeners should be asking themselves. Got to consider what your wife or significant other one would what they could do to help out.
I think we're gonna
financially.
have to do this. The next time that we're together, we're gonna periscope a donut eating challenge.
Like when you're here physically and we're
Yeah.
both on camera. Oh God, you're gonna crush me. Are you kidding
Yeah,
me?
no,
I've
I
seen
don't
you
think
eat.
I would do it, man.
Oh, I have to prepare. It's like gym work. So, all right, let's get to the first question.
All right, and hopefully this question is not gonna cause anybody a diabetic coma.
Right, exactly.
It's coming from Nicholas Anuk, A-N-C-H.
Okay.
It was posted as a question for episode 27, and it says, and I'm paraphrasing a little bit, Nicholas wants to know how to ship products by boat. Apparently, he has only had his suppliers send products by plane, so he's trying to figure out how to switch over to shipping by boat.
Okay. So we should probably have a freight forwarding expert come on the show as an interview because we do get a good number of questions related to this, and I'm honestly not an expert at this. I don't know if you are, Guy. What do you think?
No, I think we definitely need to find some experts. There's some subjects that are not as sexy, and but our listeners need to know this stuff. So yeah, let's look for somebody. And if you listening right now are an expert on freight forwarding, shoot Manny or I a message, and we can set up an interview.
Yeah. Well, let me try to answer at least some basics, okay? Because I do ship stuff through freight forwarders. First of all, for those of you that don't know what freight forwarding is, it's basically a company that will take your products. Let's say you're ordering from China, and they coordinate getting those products from China typically via a ship, sometimes by airplane, but usually by boat, and they get it over here to the U.S. if that's where you're at. Get it through the whole importing process, right through this and everything, and then they get that product from there, typically to Amazon or to your warehouse or your house or wherever it is that you have it going, and they'll take care of all the forms and the taxes and all that kind of stuff, right? So it just makes it very easy for you. You can also freight forward using airport shipping, so you can have the stuff loaded onto planes and then they'll ship it over to an airport, and then you've got to coordinate to get that stuff from the airport to wherever it is you're doing. Again, they can most freight forwarders can handle that for you. So the pros to freight forwarding is for sure reduced cost, because you're sending stuff over by the container, right? And like on a boat, for example, if you can fill that thing up, your cost to ship the stuff is way, way, way reduced compared to sending it in boxes and cartons and stuff like that through air. And if you can't fill up a container, then they'll fill up the container with other people's products. You get kind of a shared container. The problem with that, well, let me go back. So you can save a lot. Like I said, you can sometimes your cost can be a third or a quarter of what it is with express air. So think about this: if you're ordering 100,000 units over the course of a year, I know that's a lot, but then we're talking about, let's say it's about 9,000 units a month, which would be, 300 units a day. That's if you're really jamming on it. 100,000 units, if you can save yourself $2 per unit on shipping costs, that'd be 200 grand that you would save. You can drop that number way down. Like, let's say you're doing 30 units a day, okay, which is kind of a very achievable goal. Okay, 33 units, let's say. That's 1,000 units per month. That's 12,000 units. Again, that's per year. 12,000 units, if you could save yourself $3, that's $36,000 saved, Guy. 36. That's a nice little sum there, isn't it?
Yeah, that's full salary for some people.
Yeah. So, okay, so that's, we know the benefits of saving money. The disadvantages, right? The cons to this is that it's typically a lot longer wait time. So if you need stuff right away, it's probably not going to work because, if you do it via express air, you can get the stuff in a week, sometimes less. If you put it on a boat, it's going to be out at least a month, typically, sometimes longer, 6 weeks. And if it gets stuck in X-ray or there's some kind of issue with the container, it might not even be your product. It could be the other products that require additional processing. Your stuff is in there. That happened to me once, and it could get delayed a while. Mine got delayed almost 2 weeks, or a little less than 2 weeks. So, yeah, I mean, there's pros and cons to each one. Saving money long term, if you can get to a point where you have plenty of inventory and you can wait 6 weeks for the product to come in, definitely ship the stuff by boat get a freight forwarder. In terms of freight forwarders, Amazon has a couple companies that they list on their website. I don't remember the other company's name. I draw a blank on it. The one I do remember, of course, is UPS Freight Forwarding, because we all use UPS. So that's one that Amazon recommends. A lot of people have used Forest Shipping. I think it's forestshipping.com. I've heard that one mentioned. There's probably 3 or 4 others out there that are pretty popular. And my goal is to try to use multiple companies. I actually used one. My last one was by my supplier. They actually had their own freight forwarding company, and it worked great. And it was weird. I took a chance. I didn't even know who the freight forwarding was or what the company was. It was just all handled through the supplier. But this is like the only supplier that is like the most professional company I've ever dealt with. They're super awesome. So that's why I did it with them. But yeah, that's what I kind of know. I think the basics for freight forwarding, Guy.
Cool. And yeah, you mentioned one of the pros is saving money, but also as a side effect, you are saving money, but it's going to affect your cash flow because you're going to have money tied up floating on across the ocean for a long time.
Yeah.
So that's definitely something to consider.
It's a really
you will have to quite literally float all that inventory.
Yeah, exactly. So you think about that. That's a good point, guys. If you have 1,000 units of a product and it's costing you, let's just say it's 5,000 or $5 per unit. That's $5,000 that you have just floating out there that you can't sell, you can't do anything. You've already paid the supplier. You have to pay the suppliers the full balance before it'll get on that boat. So you're out $5,000 and it's on a boat, and you can't even sell the first unit for a month, maybe 6 weeks.
Yep.
Let's definitely set up a pro to come on and talk about forwarding, all the details, because there's a lot of stuff. Like my freight forwarder said that make things a lot easier if I got a bond. So I got a bond, but I don't know all the details. I'm so busy with a million things that I'm like, all right, yeah, let's do it. Do whatever we got to do. The other thing is classifying your products in the correct category, because certain categories have a higher tax rate when they come in when you're importing them. Other products don't have any tax rate. It's like they come in and they're like duty free. Like my bunny scratcher just came in duty free. I was like, what? I'm like, that's cool. The first time it was classified as something different, and I had to pay some duties. So yeah, you can save a lot of money that way as well.
Yeah, it would be cool to set something up. We'll have to put that in our to-do list.
For sure. Let's move on to the next question, Guy. And that question is for you.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yes. All right, Guy. This is a very serious question again, as always. Let's just say, Guy, that when I go bald, okay, what hair color am I going to be putting on my driver's license?
Oh God, I have to ask your woman about that one.
Oh, you went there, did you, huh? Say you didn't.
I sure did.
All right, on that note, let's go on to the next question.
Yeah, please do. All right. I bet people are eager to hear this question. This one is coming from Sierra. It was posted as a voicemail, and I believe actually she may have also been on the Periscope, because this question definitely reminds me from one that I posted on Periscope. So roll tape.
Let's listen to the voicemail.
Hi, Manny. My name is Sierra. I actually just have a simple question. I looked at the quick facts about you. I was wondering, did you finish college, or were you a college dropout and were basically self-taught in all of the areas of business that you decided to go into?
Okay. Thank you, Sierra. That was a very quick question, and I have a very quick answer for you. The answer is no. I did not go to college, and no, I'm not a college dropout. I was going to go to college when I got hired very, very early on, right out of high school, essentially, for a finance position, a finance job, which I ended up getting that I shouldn't have got because you needed a college degree. And apparently, I don't know how it even happened. It was a big mistake with the company. I became the youngest employee to ever work for that company out of 6,000 employees. So, and then I moved up through the ranks, became the youngest manager for that company ever, because hence the early start. I had a 4-year advantage in most cases over most people. So that happened. And then shortly after that, I ended up quitting a few years into that business, I quit and started my own company. And from there on, I've had my ups and downs, but I've gone through a bunch of stuff. So yes, not college educated by any means. And I have a lot of friends. In fact, I'd say the majority of my friends are college graduates. And I don't know, sometimes I wonder what they teach in college when I talk to my friends. Guy, do you have any friends like that?
Yeah, I do actually. I didn't graduate college either. Well, I have an associate's, so it's a 2-year degree. But I don't discount the value of college education, but I don't believe it's a requirement to be successful in business.
Yeah, I agree. And I think maybe Sierra's asking, maybe she is asking because she doesn't have a college degree, and she's wondering, if you need to go to college to build up the specific tool set to do what we're doing here with Amazon FBA. And absolutely not, you do not need that. Does it help? Potentially, yes, especially when it comes to managing and running your business and things like that. But when it comes to actually launching and doing the stuff, I did it, a ton of people have done it, and it's not a requirement. I think you just need to have the will to do it, Guy.
Yeah, I agree. And I think even if your goal is to get a job, not to start a business, even if your goal is to get a job, more and more companies seem to be hiring from experience more so than from a degree. There's few situations like a medical profession or accounting, things of that nature that, you will have to go to college. But other than that, I put it as a great experience, but not as a requirement.
Yeah. And if you'd like to get your degree with me, you can go to Manny University by going to the ampmpodcast.com and listen to all the podcasts. I think as of right now, we're in the 30s, mid-30s in terms of the number of podcasts. Listen to them all, and you will know way more than any college graduate regarding Amazon FBA. I guarantee you that.
Absolutely.
Cool. Is that it?
That's all. That was a quick and easy one.
Wait. Let's do a third question because that one was pretty short. What do you say? Do we have another one lined up?
Let me pull it up real quick. All right. Well, I think this one is, we have this one marked. It's coming from, I don't have a name for it, so
okay.
Pick a name, any name.
Let's have it come from Bruce Lee.
Bruce Lee.
Yeah.
Wants to know. Says, hi, Manny and Guy. I love your new Q&A format. Makes me laugh while I learn.
Nice.
My question is about a kitchen product that I sell. A customer wants to return a product of mine, and I'm not sure if I should try to fight it. Well, I bet it is. Bruce Lee is trying to fight it.
Bruce Lee should fight over that. Are you kidding? You're going to win 100% of the time. The only person that can beat Bruce Lee is guess who?
Chuck Norris.
That's right. Chuck Norris. You heard about Chuck Norris, right? That bridge that they named after him?
No.
They had to change the name of the bridge because nobody crosses Chuck Norris. All right, continue. All right. So what Bruce Lee, should fight over this customer trying to return the product or getting a refund.
Yeah, it says the customer is saying that my product did not include the knives that are in one of the pictures. Think of my product like a food processor, and next to the food processor is a chopping board with a tomato and a couple knives. It's a kitchen, for God's sake. I don't mention any knives anywhere in my product listing, so what should I do?
Okay. That's a good question because the
Careful
primary...
now, you're answering a question for Bruce Lee.
I know, I got to be thorough or I'm going to get my ass kicked. So hang on. I always say, at least in one of your images, you should show your product in actual use, right? So if there's something that helps with sleep aid, then show a person sleeping with it, next to them or whatever, however it works, right? But, if that product is on their counter right there, or, their bedstand or their nightstand, you don't want to put other stuff on there. You wouldn't want it to have a clock and stuff, but sometimes images would have that, I guess. And you just kind of, you hope that people assume or know that that's not included in your package. But since you're selling a kitchen product, maybe, I don't know. I don't know. I haven't seen your listing, but if there's some confusion, obviously this person thinks there is, right? They thought that it was like maybe a whole kit. You probably want to look at your listing and see why there might be that confusion. Maybe this person just, I don't know, they're just kind of a grumpy person and wants to return it. But I would suggest, Guy, that people, for sure on your main listing, the very, very first image, that you only show your product, and then just try to not include any other things that that could potentially be mistaken. I mean, putting fruit or vegetables or tomatoes, that's fine, right? Nobody's going to say, hey, it didn't come tomatoes. But if you're putting other hardware, that could probably be problematic.
I don't know, man. Have you read some of the warning signs in products?
The warning signs.
Yeah, those are there for a reason. So if you assume that nobody's going to say that, you might be wrong.
I think you're right. Yeah, you're right. I wanted to say, I wanted to finish my thought with I lost my spot, Guy.
I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay. What was I going to say? I forget now, Guy. So what would you like to add?
Nothing. I think it's just a matter of the main picture. That definitely seems like it's a picture issue, but more so, I would recommend you take care of the root cause so this doesn't happen again. But don't fight a customer over $10-20. Just give them their money back. Make them happy. They may or may not come back for more, but you definitely don't want to blemish your account over one transaction.
Yeah.
Think of the big picture here. So make that customer happy, get them what they want, move on, but fix the root issue, which is probably a picture.
Yeah, thanks for finishing my thought. That was exactly it. You stealer, you. No, but that's actually it. Yeah, I was just going to say that, you don't want, is your time really worth trying to save $7 or $10 or whatever your profit margin is, right, Guy? I mean, it's the headaches and the going back and forth, and ultimately it's probably going to end up in as Guy mentioned, a bad review or I mean, a bad review is bad. Bad seller feedback you can probably, negative seller feedback you can take care of, but why do it? Just get rid of that customer and move on, for sure.
Yeah, I agree. Thank you so much to Bruce Lee for sending this question, right?
Yeah, Bruce Lee rocks. All right, so we did 3 questions. This was a special one. A little bit longer than normal, but Sierra's question on my the college question was pretty short, so I think it's worth it. Say, you know what, Guy?
What's up?
Holy crap, I just realized. Since there was 3 questions, do I get to ask you a 3rd question, the personal question?
I guess you must.
I must?
You must.
All right. Very serious question, Guy. Are you ready?
I am ready.
All right. Would you rather eat a light bulb or be woken up at night by a clown standing at the side of your bed?
Oh my goodness. Where do you come up with these things, man?
I don't know. My brain works really weird. I can't explain it. But answer the question. Don't try to get out of it. Would you rather eat a light bulb or be woken up at night by a clown standing at the side of your bed? He's just staring at you.
I will wake up with a clown. I'd be weird that I'm so than scared, I think.
You don't think you would probably die of a heart attack? You just woke up in the middle of the night and there's a clown just staring at you?
I think I've shared with you the one thing that scares the bejesus out of me, and clowns is not one of them.
Oh, yes, that's a good... You know what? I actually have a question for you about that one.
Oh, then you'll have to wait for the next Q&A. Sorry, our time is up.
Oh, darn it. All right, guys. Yeah, we'll get to Guy's biggest fear next time. So if you guys loved this, I was going to say Periscope. If you like this podcast, definitely please give us a review on iTunes. That'd be awesome. Join us on our Facebook group. You can do that by going to ampmpodcast.com, clicking on the Facebook group, and you will be taken to the Amazon FBA High Rollers secret group. Guy will get you approved, and you'll be in there with both of us and a ton of other people. And if you want to hear me, or actually see me on a daily basis talking about Amazon FBA and interact with me and ask questions, we do videos every day in the form of Periscope. So download that app, it's free, and then go to do the search feature on there. Follow me, Manny Coates, that's the name you search for, and you are set.
And if you go using your phone, go to ampmpodcast.com, and you can click on a link that will take you straight to Manny's profile in person. That's the easy way to find it.
Perfect. All right, guys, that's all we've got for you. It was our pleasure. Till next time.
See you guys.
Bye-bye.
You've been listening to the AM PM podcast hosted by Manny Coates. For more information, insider tools, and to get the resources mentioned in this episode, visit ampmpodcast.com.